Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking Jack and Jill with the Adams. I am D'Angelo, and to my left is my lovely wife.
Hello, I'm Lakeisha.
All right. Well, I mean, it's been a while. You know, life got in the way again since we dropped another episode. But I want to start this one off with, okay, we know the Super Bowl was several weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. To my people out there, if you can't dance, stop doing the Kendrick Lamar dance. They not like us because you ain't got it. Some of y'all are making us look bad. Please, just stop. Speaking of Super Bowl, what did you think about the halftime performance?
I thought it was nice. I enjoyed it. You know, I didn't know much about Kendrick Lamar, but I felt like his dance moves were very smooth.
Yeah, that's all she been saying. Oh, he's smooth with it.
He was smooth with it. Yep. And then there was a lot of symbolism in his performance. So I enjoyed it. I thought he did a good job.
Okay, yeah, he did a good job. But for those of you out there, all right, stop with they not like us. Just stop it. I'm getting tired of saying it on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, because some of y'all ain't got it. All right, moving on. You have anything you wanted to talk about before I discuss some things?
Nope, we can jump right to whatever you have.
All right, let me pull this up. This some questions I pulled out a deck of cards. Okay. All right. The first question. All right. A woman is married to a man who's not her child's biological father. He leaves because she will not let him discipline the child. Who's wrong or who's right in that situation?
Both.
Both. All right. Mm-hmm. Please explain.
Yeah, so basically when you get married, right, you become one. There definitely, to me, in my opinion, needs to be some counseling before you say I do. But when you are in that situation, you are one family. So, they need to talk that out.
But do you think that should have been discussed prior to them getting married?
Oh, of course. That should have been talked about. Right. That should have been understood.
You just don't get married and all of a sudden, now your child acting up. He about
Absolutely.
to get it. This is what happened when I was growing up.
Right.
He gonna get the same thing, or she gonna get the same thing.
Right. That should have been discussed, and there should have been an understanding. On both of their behalf.
I know, it's different kind of discipline out there, but when we was growing up, we got the belt, racetrack, whatever our parents get a hold on.
And that's the thing. It's like, and we're fine. Right. Like, I'm not saying abuse your child, but definitely, and the Bible even talks about that. Disciplining your child.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just thought that was a good, interesting question to start with. Because if a woman, his new spouse, don't want him disciplining her child, when first of all, if you think about it like that, it's just your child. Now that's an issue right there.
Correct.
Because once y'all become married, and it's our child. And once again, that should have been discussed way before y'all walk down the aisle and say, "I do."
That is very true.
So, I mean, like you said they both wrong, but me, I would say she is more wrong. She's in the, further in the wrong.
I understand.
For not allowing him to, be the father. I mean, I can see. Obviously, you married a guy and you think he's a good guy. I don't think he will cause any harm or do any to your kids. So you would think you should let him have the leeway of a discipline the child when needed.
Again, there has to be, and I do agree with what you're saying, but there definitely has to be an understanding. And then people need to stop running from the problem and address the problem, because that's why, unfortunately, the divorce rate is so high, especially among African Americans and Christians. So
right. So
they definitely should have addressed the problem and talked about it beforehand.
Exactly. So people, don't do that. Before y'all get married, if y'all have you've come to a blended family, please discuss this before you walk down the aisle. You know, because that can be a deal breaker. That can cause a whole lot of problems that was unwarranted.
Yep.
Had you discussed this prior to going down the aisle, then you could have chose to go a different way or chose to get married, you know.
But that's the other thing too, is people have marriage, I think, sometimes mixed up. It's not about just sex. It's not about, you know, like the looks, the looks, like the aesthetics of it all, but it's really about you denying your flesh and becoming one with your spouse. And it's really about, you know, just having that love, like that unconditional love, you know, no matter what. So you guys are in this thing together. You're on this journey rather together, and paying your bills, and, you know, raising your family, and, you know, all of that, making big decisions. You're in that.
I mean, when it comes to discipline, you know, this newer generation is totally different.
Totally.
I mean,
I've seen it.
I can see there's a difference between discipline and abuse. And beating the child. You know, you can. I don't see anything wrong with spanking your child
there's
or
nothing
correcting.
wrong.
You know,
the Bible talks about that. You are to correct your child.
So I mean, but you know, like I said, don't beat the child. And that's when you get in trouble. But
that's right.
It's all right to discipline. You know, and then it's up to you as parents to find out and to come together on what that looks like. You know.
Yep.
All right.
But there has to be that understanding between the two.
Yes. Very. All right. Second question. All right. A man is on a date with a woman, and she's on her phone, or a man is on their phone the whole time. Now, when the check comes, he asks her to split it. You know, because he think it's fair. I mean, do you think that's fair or not for him to ask her to split it if she's on her phone the entire time?
Being on the phone has nothing to do with splitting the check. So
hey, I'm just reading the question.
I understand, but this is a two-part question. So one, being on the phone, that's totally disrespectful. And I think we need to get away from that, because we find so many excuses in these phones, and the phones are a major distraction. So that's a problem for me. And then two, you're dating me. So you're going to take me out. I'm a queen, so you're gonna get the check. I'm not raising a finger to lift, you know, or pay anything. I'm not doing that. So that to me, those are all red flags to run.
Right. Well, I can see maybe I should have left the men out there, because when you go on a date, the men are expected to, you know, pay. Okay, let me throw this out. If a woman asks a man out on a date, does she still expect him to pay, or should she pay?
I mean, if she asked him out, then I would assume, you know, she would pick up some of the tab. I don't know. I've never done it.
Some of the tab? Wait, hold up.
I don't know.
Because when we asked a female out to dinner, we expected to fit the whole bill.
That's right. That's your obligation.
So so why isn't it the same if a woman asks a man out for dinner? Shouldn't she foot the whole bill?
Sure. I don't know. I mean, I just know I'm not doing it. So.
Okay. Wait a minute. So when we go out, you gonna fit the bill, right?
No. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, 'cause it's coming out the same account anyway.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. But I will say, you always take your card out and pay, which you should. So
okay, all right. This next question. All right, now this gonna be. I don't want to say a hard one, but you know it's gonna cause you to think.
Okay.
All right. A woman catches her husband in a non-sexual emotional affair. She tells him it's worse than. Let me read it right. She tells him it's worse than a non-emotional sexual affair. Do you agree? Why or why not? So,
can you restate the question?
Okay, the question is, a woman catches her husband in a non-sexual emotional affair. She tells him it's worse than a non-emotional sexual affair. Do you agree? Why or why not? So you have the emotional affair, then it's the kind of question is kind of, you know, kind of confusing, because it says sexual affair. So emotional and a sexual. So I'm thinking that when it comes to men can have sex, ain't no emotions in it. You know. So she, you know, like I said, the woman catches her husband in a non-sexual emotional affair. So now he getting his emotions in it.
Right.
Now she tells him it's worse than having a sexual emotional affair.
So the question, or the answer for me is very easy.
So do you agree? Why or why not?
An affair is an affair, and it's wrong.
So no. So which one is? Does one carry more weight than the other?
No, an affair is an affair, and you're working outside of your marriage and outside of the vows that you took before God. So it's wrong, and it's not worse. That's just like no sin is, you know, bigger or you know, worse than a sin is a sin. An affair is an affair, and it's wrong.
Okay, well, you explained the Christian way, the way the Bible sees it.
Yeah.
Well, what about those who not necessarily in the church and don't think about it the spiritual way? Is one greater?
No,
Another?
An affair is an affair. That's my answer. No, an affair is an affair. I don't care if it has emotions involved, sex involved. I don't care. An affair is an affair. When you are married, you are one with your spouse. And so if you're doing anything outside of that spouse, that's wrong. So it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not, if you read the Bible, that doesn't matter. Wrong is wrong. An affair is an affair. And no affair has any, to me, greater weight than another. If you're in an affair, you're cheating, right, on your spouse, and it doesn't matter if it's emotion and, you know, if it has emotion involved or emotionless or whatever, it's wrong.
Okay. All right. I get you. I agree with you. It's wrong. It's wrong. But
Yeah.
which one is harder to, I guess, forgive?
Probably if there was physical contact involved. Yeah. I mean, I would say, I don't know, but I would assume that it would be harder to, that would be a hard pill to swallow, knowing that my spouse had physical contact with another woman.
Okay, so, you know, to me, you know, take it outside the Christian, we know affair is wrong, it's wrong, period. But looking at it as a on the man's side, I think it would be more damaging to a woman, to me, because if it was more emotional, because you taking that emotion that you should be giving to your wife or your other, and you giving it to another woman, and to me, she's craving that emotion that you're giving to somebody else. So to me, I think that would be more damaging and more, you know,
It could be.
You know,
It could be.
You know, to the
But
woman.
yeah, it could be, but I'm just thinking like how I would think, I guess. But yeah.
Because I know I'm a man, and I talk to other men who's not not in the church or Christian wise, and you know, you see it all over television. Men, we see someone walking and be like, oh, it's no biggie, biggie, you know, for men, you know. But then when a woman does the same thing, you know, it's kind of you kind of get a woman to side eye. And it's kind of the double standard, because you think, because for women it's more emotional, you know, they ain't just looking like, oh, well, some of them do, but some of them, you know, most of them don't, you know, especially when you get, you know, in a relationship wise, when a woman start paying more attention to a man, then you know something is really wrong in the relationship, because, you know, because women are more emotional, they get attached more,
Right.
you know, and I think women for the most part don't do just casual hookups, you know, whatever, you know. So
No, yeah, I see what you're saying. Their emotions are really involved in it.
Yeah. All right, yeah, but you know, an affair is an affair. Wrong is wrong. Yeah,
That is correct. Yep.
Just want to put that out there. All right. Oh, okay. Another question.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
This should be a good one.
This should be a good one. I didn't pre-read these questions. I just picked them out. Okay. You find out that your significant other has been communicating with an ex would this bother you? Explain why or why not.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because there's no need to communicate with an ex. That's an ex is an ex, and an ex is in the past. So there's no need to go back to that. I know sometimes, there are like friendships. So I don't know, but I think you just have to be careful with that. And I think there has to be definite boundaries with that. But I would be upset if you did that with me and like not told me that, because right. I would feel like you were hiding something from me.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So I would just rather you be transparent.
I know, and it's obvious if you have a child or children with your ex, that's a no-brainer. But just to be just kicking it or say, hey, what's up? How was your day? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that would definitely.
That would probably be a problem.
Yeah, because I find it disrespectful.
Yeah. So, all right. You want anything? You want to shoot out anything?
No. I guess we'll keep rolling with your questions. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let me. Okay. I got last one. Last question. Okay. While drinking one night, your significant other tells you that they don't love you anymore. The next day, while sober, they say they didn't mean it. Do you believe them or not?
Where do you get these questions? Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, that would definitely be a problem for me.
Mind you, they drunk.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. This is why we shouldn't consume. And if you do, like, not as much, because the alcohol does take over, right? And you do, when you say things that, I didn't know that I was drunk, but
well, a lot of people say that when somebody is drunk and what they speak is really the truth, how they feel about a person or what comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but this is why you need to be very careful in consuming, because you do and say things that you may not remember, that may cause you a lot of regret. So I think it's just having that control, right? So because you kind of lose control when you get like drunk like that, unfortunately. So that's my first problem. And then my second problem is, I guess I would be a little confused.
Why?
Why? Because like, where did that come from? Like, I understand you were intoxicated, but where did that come from? That, you don't love me and all of this.
I mean, I couldn't tell you because I have never been drunk in my life.
Well, thank God. Yeah.
I mean, I drink occasionally, but I have never been drunk, so I don't know that feeling.
Right. But that's what I'm just saying to your question, though. Like, where would that have come from? And then the next day, you're like, I didn't mean that. Like, no.
I mean, could it be?
So again, and I know this is biblical, but this is me. But the mouth speaks what the heart is filled of. So.
I agree with that. But if you were in a drunken state, I mean, all your senses, everything is blurred, or you're not, definitely not thinking right. So, do you count that against them, or do you think that they're speaking from their heart when they're drunk and maybe don't remember what they said? Because a lot of times you hear stories about people drunk, they done stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They lose control. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they lose control when they're in that state. So I think it's very important that, you have some control if you do decide to consume. But I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. I would be honest with you. I wouldn't know, because that would bother me, because I would be, questioning, like, where did that come from and why? Like, that had to have come from somewhere. And like, to blame it on you being drunk,
right?
So,
I mean, so would you bring it up to him?
Oh yeah, we would talk about it. I think you know me very well. We're gonna talk. Yeah,
I think I would have to pull out the camera and be like, this is what you said when you we would definitely have a conversation about it, but then we would also have a conversation about the drunken, or the being drunk and intoxicated. So okay, but usually, sometimes, I mean, not all the time, but when one spouse drink, the other one is drinking too. They're kind of together. But sometimes you need a sober one just to just to have that clear head.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, when you consume like that and you consume to the point where, you can't remember what you're saying or doing, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That is dangerous.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just say I'm not a drinker, but drink responsibly.
Drink in moderation.
Yeah, because I mean,
don't say so crazy that you're gonna regret.
Correct, because when you lose control like that, that's an issue.
Right, especially nowadays. Now, if you out in public or whatever, there's phones everywhere. Somebody gonna have that on video.
Exactly.
Somebody gonna have you acting a fool, and then you gonna say something to the wrong person. Next thing you know, you're gonna have a video sent to your employer and anybody else. Now you're gonna be out of a job because you said something stupid or done something stupid.
And you just out there being loose and wild. Like, you have to have control.
Not loose. Not loose.
Not loose. You being loose.
My wife is an old soul. She's talking about loose. Child, get your loose self up. Right?
Yes, and being too loose, but yeah, you just have to be careful.
Oh yeah, be very careful, and feel free, please. We want to hear from you. Respond to any of the questions that we have. We want to know what you think, or
I would love that.
Any stories that you may have.
Yep.
We would love to hear from you.
Yep.
Again, please, if you like what we're saying, please like, subscribe, share this video, to your friends and others.
Yeah.
So we would love to, have you come along this train as we as we drive on down. I'm talking about a train. I'm talking about driving as we ride on down the rails.
Oh goodness! Wait, are you drunk?
No, I'm not. I'm not drunk, but I'm talking like I'm drunk. All right. Do you have anything else you want to add, or?
No, I think those were good questions. Yep. And to your point, I would love to hear from the viewers to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
And just to kind of chime in on the conversation.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else to say, we're going to leave you with the scripture.
Okay. So this one was something that really stood out to me. And it's 2 Chronicles 15:7. And it just talks about like not giving up. So I just want to encourage you that whatever you're going through or whatever your situation or whatever you're experiencing, don't give up. 2 Chronicles 15:7 says, but it says, be strong and let not your hands grow weary, for your work shall be rewarded. Amen. So God sees what you're doing. God knows the situation. It's not too big for him. He's going to step in. He's going to handle it.
That's right.
We declare that he'll turn it around and work it out for your good. The Bible talks about that. Yes. So don't give up. Get into your word. Continue to pray and continue to love on one another.
All right.
Amen.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, God loves you.
And so do we.
All right. Till next time.
Take care.